Welcome back, and today we're going to set up a Masternode, a turbo Masternode. And most Masternodes are pretty much the same setup as far as Windows and Mac go. There's a few differences, and quite a few differences from the Linux. But today we're using the Windows, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to want to do is set up your collateral. So how we do that, we go to Receive. Alright, I've already done this, but I'll show you the process. You're going to go right here, you're going to create a label, which is the name of your Masternode, whatever that might be. And in this case, we use Masternode 3, so MN3. The collateral is 5 million, so we're going to put 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. And then you would press request payment. So when you put this information in and then you press request payment, this screen will pop up and then you'll get a line right in here that shows that information. So what you have here is the address that you're going to be sending to. This is going to be your collateral address, the amount of the collateral 5 million, and the name, the label Masternode 3. Alright, so what you're going to want to do at that point is go ahead and copy that address, close this out, come to send. You're going to go ahead and paste that right in there. You see there's the collateral address, the name, and then you go ahead and put the amount. At this point, you're going to go ahead and press send, and then you'll come over here to transactions and you'll see that transaction being processed. You want to wait at least 6 confirmations for that to happen. We can check how many confirmations have happened right in here. So far 0. So while we're waiting for that to confirm, we can go ahead and start working on setting up the Masternode configuration file. Close this, come up here to Tools, open up your Masternode configuration file. But what you want to do is find one of these examples right here, this lower one. Go ahead and copy it just like this. Paste. Keep in mind of the spaces in between these lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this up here. We'll go back to the instructions. This is going to be your name of your Masternode, alias, right there. So we're going to change that to 3 because we named it Masternode 3. The next line, the next numbers in this line are going to be your IP address for your VPS or whatever the IP address is, and then this is the port number. This is the default port number. To set up multiple Masternodes, you're going to have to change this. So the best way to do that is just to increase this last number by 1. So on your next Masternode would be 9534, 9535, so on and so forth. But if you're only setting up one Masternode, you can go ahead and just use this default port right here, 9533. The next line is your private key, which we are going to get shortly. What we can get right now is this line and this number right here. And where are we going to get those from? Alright, we'll come over here and we get those from this transaction. The transaction ID, go ahead and copy that. Close this out. Make sure you go over to the right line right here. And then we'll paste. Right, notice that that gap disappeared. Make sure there's a gap between that transaction number and this output ID. So this was 0 and 0. Now that we have those two, the transaction ID and the output number, we can go ahead and come back here. Then we're going to go and retrieve this Masternode private key. So let's save this and close it. Alright, so we have a green check mark here. We have 7 confirmations, as you can see. Let's go ahead and check. So we should be good to go and retrieve that Masternode private key. So let's go ahead and close this. We're going to go up to Tools. We're going to go to Information and go into Console. Alright, then come over here to the instructions. We're going to go ahead and copy this code right here. Copy. And then paste it into your console. Hit enter. So go ahead and copy that now. Just like that. And we need to go back into the Masternode configuration file. Come over here to this first string of numbers and paste. Don't forget to make sure there's that gap right there, or you're going to have problems. So now we have the Masternode configuration file all set up except for this right here. We need to grab that IP address. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And anytime you make changes inside of your configuration folders, you're going to have to restart your wallet. And in this case, I've already done that. And so you see right in here, the Masternode shows missing because it has not been activated. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step of activating the Masternode, or setting up the Masternode in the VPS. And type in root, or whatever name that you've given it. For this exercise, for this instruction, we're just using root. Then your password. When you right click and put your password in there, you won't see it. Just go ahead and hit enter, and you'll open up just like this. Alright, so here's what we want to do. Put that up there in the corner. Come to the script. Now, a couple of things to remember in the beginning here. You're going to have to set up a swap space, okay? And we come right down here to this little note. You need to set up a swap space. You'll be able to do that inside the script once we get going, and I'll show you how to do that. So, if this is your first time, you can go ahead and start right here. If you have a previous version of the script, or an older wallet version, you're going to want to come down here to commands and type this in first to remove the old script, and then proceed with the script itself, the updated version right here. Alright, so since this is the first time we're setting up, we can go ahead and start right here. So let's go ahead and copy this first line of the script. Copy, paste right there, press enter. We'll go ahead and go down here, grab the second line of the script, copy, paste right there, hit enter. Then we'll come down to the third line of the script, copy it, and paste it in there. Hit enter and give it a moment. Alright, so here we go. Right here is all the little commands for your setup. We need to set up that swap space. Now if you're using a Contabo server, there's a number 2 right here that you would use to set up that 8 GB swap space. But since we're not using that, we're going to go ahead and use number 1 and set up that swap space of 2 GB right here. So just go ahead down here, click 2, hit enter, and it's going to start setting up your swap space. We need to let that process right there, so give it some time. Alright, all done setting up the swap space. You can see this right here. So we'll go ahead and put exit. Alright, so now come back here, click on the name of the VPS that you saved it as. Go ahead and type in your username. In this case, just using root. Hit enter. Then your password. And now we are back in action. Alright, now we can proceed with setting up the rest of the Masternode. And then the third line right here. Copy, paste, enter. Alright, so So right here, Masternode install number 6. So we're going to hit number 6 and press enter. Alright, it wants to know the Masternode alias. Alright, we had named that MN3 for Masternode 3. If you're unsure, come back here and look from that. Let's get back to putty. Okay, so we're going to put here MN3 and then enter. Alright, enter Masternode key. Remember, that's this second line right here. So go ahead and copy that. Come back here, paste, enter. Please enter a port number. The default is, okay, we can use that default since this is the first one. 9533, enter. Now, if you're doing another Masternode, when you come back in here to do your second Masternode, it's going to ask for this port number again. You're going to have to increase that last number by 1 or put a different port number. You cannot run them on the same port. So, RPC port. The default is 9822, so we can go ahead and use that. The same rule will apply for the RPC port. You can't use the same one for each Masternode, so increase the last number or last digit by 1. Okay, let this bad boy keep going. Okay, now we got some questions. You can go ahead and decide, but if you're going to run multiple, and I would just suggest you go ahead and use the process for multiple Masternodes. It's going to be easier. So just put N for no, and then it's going to keep on going. Alright, so what we want to do now is come back over here to our wallet. One thing I want to make note real quick is if you go to send, you go to coin control, you should see this input locked. Alright, that's this 5,000 or this 5 million for the collateral. You can click on list mode and you can see here that it's locked. If you ever want to unlock that and take out your coins, you can go ahead and right click, unlock unspent, and then you'll go ahead and you can spend those coins. But mind you that you would still have to go ahead and remove this line right here in your Masternode configuration file if you do want to spend those coins, or this will continue to show up right in here. So now let's go ahead and start this missing. Successfully started one Masternode. Okay, and now you see that it's enabled. What you can do is come over here and you can look for your Masternode inside this list as well. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and follow these instructions right here to check on the status of the Masternode. And what we want to do is make sure that the blocks are synced up. We can copy this, which we before info, and this will pop up, and where you want to look is right here where it says blocks. Make sure that you're on the right block. You also want to make sure that you're on the right version, which should be 70010. So next, what we want to do is go ahead and use this, copy, paste, so it says Masternode not found on the list yet. Let's give it a little time, and then you'll go ahead and try it again, and there you go. And that's it right there. Masternode successfully started. Now all you gotta do is sit back and wait, and you'll see them pop up right in here. It'll say Masternode or MN3 and the Masternode reward. Alright, well, thanks for watching everybody. Hope this was helpful, and have a good day.